Hello and welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program brought to you by the Center for Community Media at Worcester State University. I'm your host Blake Thorne, and today we will be interviewing Sarah Potrikus, who works in the OSILD office here at Worcester State. Thank you for joining us today, Sarah. We appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome. I'm excited to chat with you today.
Sarah, can you please tell us about your background and role in the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership Development?
Yes, I can. So I'm from Connecticut originally. I studied at Eastern Connecticut State University. I studied communications and English. Then I went on to grad school at the University of Rhode Island, where I graduated with a master's in college student personnel. While I was a student, I was involved in clubs and the activity board and orientation leader, and I was like, hey, this is a great fun time. This is what I want to do, and that's kind of how I ended up in my graduate program. So I started working at Worcester State just 7 years ago. I think yesterday maybe would have been my 7 years. So it's been a while, but it's been a great place to be. I started off as a coordinator in the student involvement office, and then a few years ago was promoted to an assistant director. So it's been a wonderful time.
That's awesome. Happy 7 years.
Thank you.
What does the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership Development do for students here at Worcester State?
So we do a ton of different things. Our office oversees all of the student clubs and organizations, including club sports. We oversee the first year and transfer orientation programs. We oversee commuter services. We run a majority of student leadership programs. And then we also do general programming, so some weekend programs throughout the year, and then just kind of random, get a free photo of yourself day or whatever kind of we have going on. So we do a lot of different things, and it's really just focused on, helping you create a connection to campus and like finding your people, finding your place, and really enhancing like the academic experience that you're having through involvement opportunities.
That's awesome. What types of leadership roles can students participate in while attending Worcester State?
So there are leadership roles within our student organization. So if you're an officer, so president, vice president, secretary, committee chair, whatever that is, that's a great place to start learning about leadership, because you're running a club, you're helping put on different programs and events, you're leading meetings with your peers. So that's one really great way. The second way is to join any of our leadership programs. We have a variety of programs, whether they be one day, like our leadership symposium. We have also our 7-week cohort model programs. So those focus really on just building your foundational leadership skills. And then a third way is that we do have like job opportunities through our office, so especially an orientation leader role where you can go and really learn how to lead a group of students and be a role model and help them adjust to life at Worcester State.
Wow, that's a lot.
We do it all.
Based on your experience, what are some of the characteristics that make an effective student leader?
So that's a really good question, and it's funny because I had to think about it, because we asked that question of a lot of different offices, but I've never asked it of myself. So when I was thinking of it, I think some of the big things that really came to mind were the ability to communicate is really the first and foremost skill that our student leaders need to have. They need to be able to have easy conversations, and they need to be able to have hard conversations. They need to be able to communicate verbally and non-verbally. They need to be able to write. They need to be able to present in front of people. So that's one thing that I think all of our programs really focus on. I think too, the ability to manage time, stay on top of things. Our student leaders are very involved with a lot of different things. So learning how to figure out what's important, what's not important. Lastly, I think the ability to be resilient. We've seen that especially since March when all of our schedules have changed and flipped and all of this. So being able to if you're feeling down or you've been knocked down, to get back up, learn from what happened, and then move forward, I think is incredibly important.
I can agree with that too. Why do you think it is important for students to be involved on campus?
So like I said before, I think being involved really helps you find your place here at Worcester State. So whether it's a club, an intramural sport, working with an office, getting an on-campus job, any of that kind of involvement helps you build your social network and just feel like Worcester State is more like your home or more like a place that's having an impact on you. So, every student I meet at an accepted students day or at orientation, I'm like, just find that one thing to get involved with, because that's going to make your experience so much better.
That's awesome. How does possessing leadership qualities factor into a student's career after they leave Worcester State?
So if you've ever talked to Eileen from Career Services, she loves to talk about how employers they can look at a 3.5 GPA and a 4.0 GPA, and if that 3.5 GPA had an internship and out of classroom experience, then they're more likely to get a career versus a student who just was focusing solely on academics. So, I say to get involved in our clubs because you're not just having a fun time putting on these events and spending time with people, but you're learning those interpersonal skills that are so important in a career. Being able to manage conflicts, being able to motivate others, being able to delegate is a huge one. So those skills, when you're out interviewing for either internships or a job, even grad school, you can think back to those involvement opportunities that you had and say, these are actually tangible skills that I learned that will make me a better employee.
What is your favorite part of helping students create and develop their own organizations?
So that's really fun. Every year I probably meet with 4 or 5 students who are wanting to start a new organization. And it's nice because they feel comfortable enough to come and say, hey, there's something missing from campus. So, this year I've met with a book club, I've met with a biotechnology club, I've met with like a marketing club. So they say, maybe there's not exactly what I'm looking for here, so how do I create that? And we have a very simple process for them, in terms of finding however many people they need in order to get approved by our student senate. But I love that they come to us and say, there's this area that we're missing, and I know that there's more students who need this sense of community within like this specific interest. So I do enjoy meeting with them and kind of seeing what new ideas they're bringing.
That's nice. How has managing student organizations been affected due to the ongoing pandemic?
It has been such a fun time. It's been really an adjustment, I think, for everybody in my office. We're so used to having students in and out of our office every single day. So to go from that to being remote, and even now that we're on campus, just having 1 or 2 people stop by, it's really difficult. I think for our students, it's been a challenge because they don't feel as connected, especially our students who are remote. And it's hard to plan ahead. They're frustrated when students don't come to virtual events because our students are tired of looking at computers all day. So it's been a lot of keeping them more positive than usual, whereas normally be like, hey, you should have X amount of events or you should do this. It's more like, hey, you're trying your best, you're trying new things, and if it didn't work, that's okay. Try something else and we can help you through that. So it's been a shift of not as much logistical advising, but emotional advising to kind of help them through this weird time that we're in.
Yeah, it's been a hard time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers?
Let's see. I think, kind of as I said before, just the importance of really finding that place to get involved on campus. And it doesn't have to be with our office, but any community on campus, joining the sport, joining an honor society, joining a club, because that really, really helps you be more successful. So many studies have shown that students who are involved are more likely not only just to graduate, but to graduate with better GPAs and graduate within the 4 years. So, if there's something that you want that we don't have, come to us and we'll help you start it. Or if there's something that you want to get involved with, you can come to our office and we'll help you with that. So just the importance of really finding that one thing that connects you to the university, because that's going to make the experience 10 times better for you.
OSILD has a spot for everyone.
Yes.
Well, Sarah, thank you again for being here with us today. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We will see you next time.